during an interview with Carrie Champion, Joy and Reid would rip Stephen A. Smith a new one. Here it is.
He was talking about your show. What did he say about your show? And then you had to respond.
He said I got fired for ratings. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. You got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. I had to literally Google his numbers. I'm like, how many people listen to the show? Is it like 4 million people? Oh, wait, it's like, what, 500,000 people? Dude, that's like average CNN. That's not that high. They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about Black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of Black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of Black women in particular into a Negro's mouth, you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. But just be clear, you're not being paid for your numbers. You're being paid for what you're willing to do to us for white people's entertainment.
Sorry. Put it up full mass in the mouth. That was classic. I would have said Sambo, but Negro work. No. Stephen A. got to do better. They're picking fights with individuals based on fictitious argument, non-factual information. If your information was factual, okay, debate, have a difference of opinion, but you're literally reciting the talking points of bigots. That's the point. The only other people that are saying this are the ignorant and the racist. And you're supposed to be neither. So Carrie Champion, who used to work with Smith, by the way, on First Take, also has been a critic of Smith in the past, particularly on the statements of women in the media, Black women in the media. Remember last time we covered his statements about Michelle Obama, and are now here. So another prominent Black woman in the media would call out Smith on his face. On The View, Sunny Hostin got into it with Smith over his recent tirade against Senator Mark Kelly. Quote, this is a quote now. You recently accused Senator Mark Kelly, a veteran astronaut, of crossing the line for participating in a video reminding troops they can refuse to follow illegal orders. Now, I got to say it again. Refusing to follow an illegal order is not a recommendation. It is a mandate. You are not supposed to follow illegal order. It is not something that you have to negotiate. You don't have to consider it. If it is an illegal order, you have an obligation not to follow an illegal order. Why? Because the word illegal is in front of order, making the order null and void. So he had a problem with Mark Kelly reminding people of the law. Sunny Hostin said before playing a video of Smith screaming, quote, "You know better, Senator Kelly. You know better. How dare you do that?" Hostin then quoted Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who's currently the one giving the illegal orders, saying in 2016 that there has to be, quote, consequences for abject war crimes, quote. Now, given the fact that the secretary himself said that, this was such a fair question. I love to give you the opportunity to perhaps change your position on what you said Hostin proposed. Now, what has happened? Stephen A. Smith, loud, He's incorrect. He doesn't know, obviously, that refusing an illegal order is simply the thing you do. It is not a recommendation. The person giving the illegal orders, ironically, happens to be Hegseth, the man that he is by proxy defending by going after Mark Kelly. But Hegseth himself said in 2016 that you don't follow illegal orders. And if you do, there's a remedy, and it's called a war crime when you do follow an illegal order. Context established. He did this very directly. There was no gotcha. It was simple. What does Stephen A. Smith say? He said, quote, "I'm not changing a thing." Well, okay. And then Hostin says, okay, you want to stay loud and wrong. Smith says, you can call it loud and wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. Sir, this is a fact now that you are loud and wrong. I don't think anybody debates the loud part anyway, not me. And you are incorrect in your assessment that somehow Hegseth is above right here. He's the guy who said it in 2016. You're entitled to your opinion, he states. I don't give a damn what Pete Hegseth has to say. He'd have made himself the head of the military, Stephen A. He was never qualified for the job. When you talk about DEI and eradicating that, excuse me, what was he doing hosting Fox News on the weekend? And all of a sudden, he's the defense secretary. Please, give me a break. Let me get that out the way. Sir, you're very good at your job. I mean, but you're dealing with women of color. It's not gonna be that easy. So he tries. He continues. When I was talking about Mark Kelly, it was military. Like Stephen A. is a colonel. It was military. What I did was get on the phone with family and friends who served in the military. Why is that, Stephen A? Because Stephen A. never had. So he gets on the phone, which I highly doubt. But he said he gets on the phone, he calls some folk up, family and friends, he said. And I said, quote, we're not civilians. This is not a court of law. You could be implicated for applying something if you are a former military member or you are a present military member. It wasn't what Mark Kelly said. It's the fact that he was a combat Navy pilot who served in the military, who would tell folks, ignore an order when it could get, and then here comes Joy, ignore an illegal order. Smith said, I said illegal. I'm talking about illegal. Then Hostin jumps in. Because we don't have the rights to the footage, I got to give you play-by-play, so I'm doing the best I can. So Hostin jumps in. Hostin says, he said, you don't have to follow an unlawful order. And that is in the military code of conduct. It didn't sound like you were aware of that. Smith, no, I disagree with you. I had 2 governors text me, tell me I was wrong and agree with you. Host, you are wrong. Smith, and I had 2 senators that reached out and said, you are not wrong at all. Stephen A., I need you to start reading before you go on these shows. I need you to look up, go on Google, go to ChatGPT, something. Because this was real simple to find out. Military code of conduct. You do not follow a legal order. You can be prosecuted for them. There is no immunity for you following one. Well, except for the president giving them. He's the only one that has immunity according to the court. But everybody else goes to prison. Senator, here's the thing. Stephen A. Smith, there was a time in his life when we could tell he did research. He was right, at least on some of the sports issues that I would hear him commentate about because he was in it, he was involved, he researched it, he embraced it, and he was able to give you nuance. Now it seems as if he's more so taking a position and then thinking about how to defend that position much later after he's factually proven to be incorrect in the position that's on the table. What say you?
Just stop digging, sir. And I want our audience to know I was on mute the entire time Doc was giving his commentary because this sister was rolling. Okay,
Yeah.
Doc, this your other career to go with the other 100 you got. Play by play. The man was wrong. He should have just said, yes, I was wrong. Joy was cooking. My Wonder Twin. We call each other Wonder Twins. She was cooking on him. And hopefully he'll do some self-reflection. You know, there's a lyric in one rap song that I think the words go something like, don't get high off your own supply.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Stephen A. has gotten high off his own supply. As my dear Wonder Twin laid out, you really think you are somebody. And the piercing truth, and it's not too late for him. I mean, Doc, you probably know him better than I do. I met him in person just one time recently, you know, a few months ago on the set with Chris Cuomo, you know, a few months ago. And, you know, I get, you know, he seems to be a nice man. Obviously, he's good at his craft. Joy laid out why he being paid. That's one of the reasons. I hope to God that's not the only reason, but it's not too late for him to make a change. You know, the Michael Jackson song, look at the man in the mirror. It's just not too late to make a change. But Sunny cooked too, which I often don't agree with her, but I'll put that in the parking lot, when she said you could be loud and wrong, and that's exactly it. But he just kept digging, Doc. I don't understand why he wanted to keep digging. It was clear, and Sunny, for her part, you're right. It wasn't I got you. It was let me just lay out these fact patterns methodically and give you a chance, sir, to respond. And he just still refused to admit, hey, I made a mistake. To err is human, right?
That's right.
He is human. So he may be good at his craft, at his entertainment. Because, Doc, I argue if there was a black woman being loud like that, we wouldn't be making nearly as much money. But I'll put that in the parking lot too.
Yeah. And
he should not be peddling his integrity. He should not peddle in hatred and the reinforcement of stereotypes on his own people.
That's right. But he apologized to MAGA when he offended MAGA.
Of course.
A whole apology.
Yeah.